It's been over 5 years since a massive fire nearly destroyed the iconic Notre Dame Cathedral, and now officials in France are announcing its official reopening along with a big ceremony to mark the occasion.
And joining us now from Paris is ABC News foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge. Welcome, Tom. So good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
So this grand reopening is set for Saturday, December 7th, the night before the cathedral's first scheduled mass. What are the plans to celebrate this reopening?
Yeah, I mean, so basically events kick off this Friday, guys, and there'll be a procession through the streets of Paris. They'll be basically carrying a statue of the Virgin Mary, which will be placed back into the cathedral. But the main event is December the 7th. That's when there'll be a massive reopening ceremony. We don't know the guest list. We don't know whether there'll be world leaders yet. We know that Pope Francis sadly won't be attending, but we know that it's going to be a massive, massive event streamed all around the world. And then the following day, Sunday, the 8th of December, there'll be the first mass back inside Notre Dame for the first time in 5 years. And that evening, they will be reopening the doors to the public. So that will be a major moment. If you think about it, there hasn't been visitors, tourists, believers able to get back into the cathedral for 5 years because of the fire.
So tell us, what went into the work? What work was put in to get us to this moment here?
Yeah, DeMarco, it's been non-stop for 5 years. A massive army of hundreds of craftsmen and craftswomen. There's a massive kind of office kind of constructed over the other side of the cathedral from here. And they've been working. If you think back, I remember exactly where I was when this story broke, the fire. It's one of those kind of, but it was a terrible moment when you looked at the building and saw it engulfed in flames and the world watched. And we saw the spire, of course, crashing down, a really awful moment. That spire had to be rebuilt. The roofing below it completely rebuilt too, cased in lead. It was very intricate, complicated work, costing hundreds of millions of dollars, but it's being completed. And I think, the news this morning is that in 2 weeks from now, church leaders say all of the major restoration works will be completely finished. And so, yes, they will have reached that target that President Macron set 5 years ago.
Yeah, I remember I just left Paris with my mother when that fire happened. It was so crazy. And it draws so much attention. People love going to see Notre Dame. What does it mean to people for it to finally be reopening?
Yeah, Eva, it means a massive amount. It will mean a huge amount for Paris, for Parisians, for all French people as well, and for Catholics all around the world. And church leaders also emphasizing this will be a big moment for believers and non-believers, of people of all faiths. I mean, look, Notre Dame, that remarkable building behind me, more than 800 years of history, it's synonymous with French history. Napoleon was crowned emperor inside that building. President Charles de Gaulle at the end of the Second World War held a Thanksgiving service here at Notre Dame. So it is a very, very important building for this beautiful city, for this entire country, and of course for the entire world.
And the cathedral has 3 new bells, including one from this year's Olympics. Explain its significance.
Yeah, DeMarco, I remember being inside the Stade de France at the beginning of the Olympics and seeing the winning athletes ringing this giant bell and thinking, wow, that's really cool. My kids liked it. We didn't know, though, at that point in time, that bell is actually one of the new bells put back inside the cathedral. We know that 8 of the bells inside the northern belfry of Notre Dame had to be cleaned as part of the restoration process. Last week we heard the bells ringing here in Paris for the first time again in 5 years. And you think, those bells have been ringing every day through the ages. And, for them to be silent for so long and now ringing again, it just is another symbol of the kind of rebirth of this building and what the church leaders are really hoping will be, a kind of new beginning for the church. And to a certain extent for Paris.
Tom, I'm curious, do we know what caused this fire? Are we ever going to know?
We don't know for sure. The investigation has been running for 5 years and they haven't come up with a definitive cause of the fire. Everything is pointing towards it being accidental. Some theories like a potential electrical fault, maybe a discarded cigarette. I mean, there were minor restoration works going on inside the building at the time, but we just don't know. I think, Eva, the focus now really is on the reopening. Church leaders are hoping there'll be 15 million visitors to Notre Dame in the first year after the reopening. And I think that figure just says it all.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah. ABC's Tom Soufi Burridge, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom.